What's poppin', boys? We are doing a live mock draft, diving into some more redraft content as we kind of get into the season. So let us not waste a single moment, and we are getting into it. Of course, it has been absolutely an amazing offseason, and let me start this draft. And we are diving right on into this. So we got Jonathan Taylor and Christian McCaffrey off the board. Those should be the two automatic first picks that do happen on a, if that's in your league, CMC, honestly, in my opinion, should be the 101. But I've been saying that. I've been harping on that every live mock draft that we do. So what is there to say? What is there to say other than to say Jonathan Taylor, people have those expectations that he's going to be able to repeat. People are asking, what's the YouTube in the chat? So let's get everyone in there that can join. So, hey, if you have joined, I got 2 viewers so far. Really appreciate you guys stopping by the channel. Feel free to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Really helps me out with the algorithm, especially getting more people to be able to see this content as we continue on into this offseason. And so from there, we got Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler, Najee Harris off the board. Connor, if you're in here, I really do like that Derrick Henry pick as well. We then have Austin Eckler, the Najee Harris. Najee Harris is an interesting one for me. This year, I don't think he's going to get that same volume that he had last year. But who is that to say? Justin Jefferson at the 1-6. Crazy. I've been seeing him, Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson. So we'll see who falls to me here at this pick. Dalvin Cook goes. So I know I'm going to get one of those elite level wide receivers. Typically, I like to go running back, and this kind of year just due to the volume that's happening. But I'm gonna be stuck with Jamar Chase, and I am very much so happy taking Jamar Chase at the 110. I think some of these second round running backs just have the high end value that if that all of a sudden falls to me, if one of these running backs fall, I feel really good with them as my RB1. So we had Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams. So right here, the two ways that I'm looking at going is I'm looking at, okay, we got CeeDee Lamb, so we could go like just absolutely demolish wide receiver and punt running back, or I could go and draft Saquon Barkley. And so, for this build, we're going to play a little bit different, and we're going to go CeeDee Lamb. I'm going wide receiver. Not typically that type of drafter, especially when you're playing with guys, we're going to be looking at like a James Conner as our RB1. So that might not be super great in the long haul, but I will say that if when you're building these teams, you want the highest upside possible, and Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb both have the top 5 wide receiver upside, and that's something that I think might be a little bit more valuable than taking a risk on Saquon at that pick. But like I said before, I got 4 viewers right now, so thanks so much for stopping in. Do appreciate it. Feel free to liking really helps us out on the channel as we continue to get more and grow. Trying to do like a live a week. I know, not a live a week, but like one live every day. I did not do one yesterday. That is my fault, but we did do one on Sunday. So we're just going to keep grinding, keep producing this content, keep showing what's exactly happening as we continue on into the season. Chloe Rodgers in the sleeper chat did say, I would love a Swift AK combo in a real draft. Yeah, Barkley is greater than Swift. I do agree with that with Rambo. Just said all that stuff. So yeah, Dalvin Cook, Saquon Barkley, that's a nasty stack for running backs. And that's typically what happens when you can get that solid RB1 and then RB2. Then all of a sudden you punt wide receiver and you hit wide receiver hard in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round. Your team looks like absolutely golden. So I might be regretting this, but this is why we mock, because we just see what our teams looks like as we're heading into the season, so that when we get in those friends leagues, as we get into everything like that, we know exactly how our team looks going into that. So like I said, thanks so much to the 5 viewers stopping by. If you guys are in the draft with me, let me know. Feel free, like I said, I'm trying to grow this channel. So like and subscribe as we continue producing this content day in and day out for you guys. I'm also on TikTok, also on Twitter. So we're just going to keep grinding this stuff out. So after my CeeDee Lamb pick, we had Travis Kelce go off the board with Saquon Barkley, Leonard Fournette, Deebo Samuel at the 2-7, Javonte Williams at the 2-8, Nick Chubb at the 2-9. Crazy that Nick Chubb went before Alvin Kamara and Aaron Jones. I think that sometimes is ridiculous just because of the lack of upside. Now, if Kareem Hunt does get traded, I don't think that changes anything because they still have Dearness Johnson. They still have Jerome Ford. Nick Chubb's role is kind of cemented. A.J. Brown at the 210. Connor, if you are in here, I do know you like you some A.J. Brown no matter where it is at the back end, early third. I'm so glad you got A.J. Brown. Aaron Jones at the 211. Then we have Mark Andrews at the 212. Tyreek Hill at the 3-1. And then Mike Evans at the 3-2. I've been seeing a lot of Tyreek Hill at the 2-6, 2-7. Mike Evans in the back end of the second. So I'm really glad that we finally have just a little bit of knowledge and people in here that actually are drafting appropriately, because I do think those are early round third talents. The thing with Tyreek Hill, if I'm drafting Tyreek Hill, I'm actually taking Jalen Waddle in the middle of the fourth, because you get better value that way when you have two of these wide receivers on the same team. Yes, we do know Tyreek Hill is a lot better athlete. We do know he's a better wide receiver, but he also is 28. He is switching quarterbacks. Yes, we know he's going to have a 25 to 28% target share, but what is that going to look like? I'd rather just punt that, wait until the back end of the fourth to be able to then, or middle back end of the fourth to be able to then get Jalen Waddle. So that is kind of what we were doing from there. After Tyreek Evans, Mike Evans, we had Keenan Allen, Michael Pittman, DJ Moore, Ezekiel, James Conner. That definitely hurts, because we are looking at running back, and we do not know necessarily where we are going. Breece Hall just went off the board. Rodgers is absolutely hammering running back. He heard me saying that I would be looking for a running back, and so he just decided to just take my guys, and he's going to leave me taking third stringer Antonio Gibson as my RB1. I'm not going to do that, but the whole news with Antonio Gibson, that is crazy, absolutely crazy, about kind of what's been happening here over the last few days, fumbling in the preseason game, and all of a sudden we're like, what the heck's happening? So right here, I'm feeling pretty good. If I have Cam Akers as my RB1, I don't feel great about it, but I do feel like, you know what, maybe I should have gone Travis Etienne, because I thought Travis Etienne might fall back to me. My mistake on that one. Travis Etienne, I saw him actually yesterday go 3-8. I think that's ridiculous. I'm just so used to, earlier this offseason, he was going somewhere around 4.4 to 4.6, so thought he would fall right back to us, but it's okay. We'll get one of these other guys to kind of fall in our laps. But I might punt it again. We'll see. We'll see what Maximus does here at the 4-2. He went David Montgomery. That was who I was going to take, so that's kind of a tier break for me. So then I'm just going to draft Kyle Pitts. I feel pretty good about this. I guess I go like a hero running back build with not a great hero running back, but Kyle Pitts, I think a lot of this has been said about last year only having one touchdown. If you watched any of his touchdown highlights, of course he only had one touchdown. But why do I think he's going to get more this year with a worse quarterback? Marcus Mariota, if anyone remembers, when he was playing with the Titans, made Delaney Walker a top 6 NFL tight end and fantasy tight end. And so I think Delaney Walker just has the potential to, not Delaney Walker, but I think Kyle Pitts has that same type of Delaney Walker upside. We already saw what he did as maybe the greatest rookie tight end of all time performance. And so I don't think there's any reason not to think that he's going to step up. I think Drake London definitely helps this year, but I think as we're looking kind of at it, Kyle Pitts is still going to be the wide receiver one there, getting the most targets, and I think he definitely will score more than one touchdown. I could see anywhere between 4 to 7, and that easily puts Kyle Pitts as a top 3 tight end. And when you're able to get that in the 4th round, you're able to cement your tight end spot. You have your 2 solid wide receivers, and now I'm just playing running back. Like I said, this is just for redraft standing, so this isn't a best ball league where you're trying to like absolutely demolish the upside. If you're a pretty good drafter, I would say taking the wide receivers, the value's there because you can probably play the waiver wire to pick up maybe that RB2, RB3 that you need. So, Javier, thanks so much for stopping in to the chat, my guy. What are your thoughts on Rashard White? I have him and Pacheco on my bench this year. Okay, I think that's a great question. So the thing with when I look at Rashard White, absolutely love the fact that he is playing behind Leonard Fournette. We know he's playing for a great offense with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The thing that we have to remember, though, Lenny did take a lot of the receiving work last year. Now, there are already coming out, Camp Talk, Coach Speak is already saying that Rashard White is having, just being an absolute demon as a receiver. And so I think it's going to be interesting to see. I think a light upside pick, I love Rashard White, because something happens with Lenny Fournette. All of a sudden, he is a top 15, top 18 back on a week-to-week basis. And so I think that's something to consider. And then to talk about Pacheco, I really do like me some Isaiah Pacheco. I think everyone's talking about Kareem Hunt. The expectations are just super high. But we do have to remember, the people in front of him aren't that good. I was a CEH bandwagoner his rookie season. I did think, he'll produce better than Jonathan Taylor. boy, was I wrong. The fact that they have that CH was getting beaten out by Darrell Williams and Jerick McKinnon like the whole season like tells us all we need to really know about CH. I think they're going to try to make it work because he is a first-round pick. But with Pacheco being a 7th rounder, they are already showing flashes of using him in the backfield, throwing him out in the slot. If he can produce, and I think if he gets those early round production, then all of a sudden we're looking at like a really solid RB2 for your fantasy football team. So if you're asking me like who I would take between them, I think I would still take Rachaad White just based on the draft capital and based on kind of his more known situation and more proven commodity. But like if Isaiah Pacheco hits, like he hits. So that would be my answer to that. So after that, we had, after my Kyle Pitts, we had J.K. Dobbins off the board, Josh Allen, Jalen Waddle, Terry McLaurin, DK Metcalf, George Kittle, and then Connor took Jerry Jeudy. He does love him some Jerry Jeudy. Hollywood Brown, Justin Herbert, Chris Godwin, Allen Robinson, and then Darren Waller all went off the board. And then Deontay Johnson. Rambo is having a really nice draft. So is anyone that is drafting with me, is anyone in here would love to hear your thoughts? Because, I mean, I see you guys in the chat and the thing, because they were talking about Kyle Pitts, how he's not a sleeper. But Chloe, that man is a wide awake brother. After Deontay Johnson, we had Gabe Davis off the board, and then Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas, this was maybe, I'd give it like 2 weeks ago, was going between like the 6'5 to 6'10. There was a little bit of uncertainty, but like recently, of course, all the news, all the highlights, everyone's pushed him up into that wide receiver 2 range. Michael Thomas, if he hits, he's going to be a game breaker, and especially for this team right here, he's got Justin Jefferson, Deebo Samuel, Terry McLaurin, and Michael Thomas. Like, he's got 4 guys that could potentially be a wide receiver 1, or even potentially the wide receiver 1. Terry McLaurin, I don't think has that upside, but the other 3 do. And so that's kind of the shot you're taking. If you could get Michael Thomas as your wide receiver 3, which on the way drafts are falling, if you draft 2 running backs and then you go 3 receivers, like that is a super great value that you could be getting. If Michael Thomas, of course, hits, we of course do not know how those ankles are going to be looking. So as we look, as we think, as we evaluate, whatever. And I just autoed Josh Jacobs, autoing in my own draft. Crazy. I forget how to get auto off. Settings. Gosh. And then I went Jalen Hurts. And I'm just autoing my team as I'm going live. Now I don't know how to get it off. That's on me. That's on me. Roast me in the chat to my 6 viewers watching. Roast me right now. Yeah, that was dumb. But you know what? I was actually looking at a quarterback anyway. So taking Jalen Hurts was not a bad pick, especially considering Patty Mahomes, Joe Burrow was off the board. Sometimes, but I've been a proponent of saying the sleeper auto system is not as good as what some may say. I've seen. I was doing a draft on Sunday where a team took Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson back to back, and they definitely, it's like I said, a 1 quarterback league. So kind of ridiculous how that's happening. After I auto drafted, well, we had Brandon Cooks, Dalton Schultz, Joe Burrow, AJ Dillon, Jalen Hurts, my auto, Juju Smith-Schuster, Rashad Bateman, Amon St. Brown, TJ Hawkinson off the board. All those are really good. All those are really good picks at that point. But yeah, thanks so much to all my 5 viewers currently watching. Let me know what you think. Is there anything that you would have done? Any picks you would have made that maybe I missed out on? I know I just autoed twice, so be kind in the comments. But is there anything that you think, you know what, I would have been doing this, would have been doing that? Any picks that you saw that are super surprising? Or as well, ask me any questions about your current teams. Happy to answer those as well. As well as, please leave a like as we are trying to get more people into this live, get more people adjusted to the channel, and yeah, welcome to the Caleb Nemi fam. Like that's what we're about here. We are about winning you fantasy football championships. I am also producing a lot of dynasty football content, so we are just here to just demolish our leagues and grow together. So yeah, appreciate all the love and the support. After TJ Hawkinson, we had Devontae Smith, Kyler Murray, and then Adam Thielen off the board at the 6'10". Yeah, I do agree. Zay Ray in our chat said that Chloe Rodgers has the draft. Yeah, I think this is more just showing like just draft running back. Just draft Dalvin Cook, Saquon Barkley, Breece Hall, Josh Allen, Darnell Mooney, Rashad Bateman. Now, granted, we don't necessarily like love the receivers, but like high upside wide receivers as well. Nate, my man, stopping in as the Brady team coming in. I don't like Akers at all this year. 50-50 reports keep coming. I agree with that. I'll be honest. I don't think I like doing the 2 wide receiver draft from like the beginning. I think I was just like, I just went with it because I really do like me CeeDee Lamb. So when he fell, I honestly, if I would have went Jamar Chase and Saquon Barkley, I think that would have probably gone better for my team. And then I could have grabbed Cam Akers as my RB2, Kyle Pitts in the 4-3. Like, I think that would have been a lot better than I could have taken like Darnell Mooney or Michael Thomas instead of Josh Jacobs. I think my team looks a lot better. And that's kind of what's happening. But no, I totally agree with you, Nate. Mason, hey, thanks so much for stopping in, man. Glad to have you in the draft as well. Making sure I'm not up. Yeah. In the draft and then just, hanging out. So appreciate if you would like and subscribe, my man. Like we said, we're trying to grow this channel. So how do you feel about Jacobs? I feel like some of the worry about a committee is a little overblown. I could see Jacobs being a fine pick in round 5. Yeah, I think the Josh Jacobs hype is, or not hype, but the dishype, the way that people are looking at it, like, yes, I agree. It's like the same thing that's happening with Antonio Gibson. Yeah, maybe him playing in week 1 of the preseason wasn't great, but we also have to remember that they actually don't like tackle a lot in these training camps. So just being able to get him some live action was probably going to be super beneficial to the way that he was going to develop through the rest of the preseason and get him ready for the season. And so I'm just thinking that that's the case. I mean, really what they still have. I mean, Zamir White, a lot of people were hype about the way Zamir White looked. Like, okay, cool, he looks great, but like he looks like your average run-of-the-mill running back that has a lot of good run. So not concerned about Josh Jacobs at all, especially if you can get him in your, like we said, if you draft 2 running backs early, then you go 2 wide receivers, and then you can get Josh Jacobs as like your flex or running back 3. I think that is super great value. We are about to be back on the clock. Antonio Gibson is falling to us. If Antonio Gibson falls to me here, I'm pulling the trigger. In the 7-10, I don't care what reports are saying. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care what reports are saying. Because, at the end of the day, Brian Robinson solid, J.D. McKissick solid. But by week 10, as my RB3, Antonio Gibson's probably going to be the main bell cow by then, I imagine. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is a totally fall-blown, I'm just out of my mind type fantasy football player that thinks, well, just coach speak. I think they were just trying to send a message, and I think the message has been sent. So we are going back on the clock. I'm going with Chris Olave. I love the upside as a wide receiver, and I think Jameis Winston has proven that he can produce 2 wide receiver 1s in fantasy, and so I'm not saying Chris Olave is Chris Godwin at all. I'm not saying Michael Thomas is Mike Evans. All I'm saying is the man can sling it, and so Chris Olave was known for going deep at Ohio State. Very well route runner. I'm excited to see what he does. So the fact that he's going after Treylon Burks in this draft says a lot to me. So anyway, how do you guys feel in the chat? How do we feel about how are we feeling? I guess I need to exit out of this, but how are we feeling about Antonio Gibson? How are we feeling about Chris Olave? Ooh, Nate, that Gibson pick totally helped your team, so I totally agree with that decision. I think that's the thing. Some of these running backs slip in the RB dead zone. The fact that Antonio Gibson and Josh Jacobs are being talked about in the RB dead zone is something that's a little bit interesting to me. So that's all I can say. Because a few years ago, they were being drafted in the 4th, late 3rd round. So after Antonio Gibson, we had Treylon Burks, Robert Woods, Ramondre Stevenson, pretty good value at the 8-1. Chase Edmonds at the 8-2, Chris Olave at the 8-3, James Cook at the 8-4, Alan Lazard at the 8-5, Tyler Lockett at the 8-6, and then DeAndre Hopkins at the 8-7. Mason, I do like that pick for you. I do think I almost went Hopkins. I think the upside with him being at the 8-6, I mean, he's going to be out for 6 games, and then he's going to come back, and he's going to be putting up close to wide receiver 1, high-end wide receiver 2 numbers, and you just got him, especially on your team, dude. You just loaded up on wide receivers. He's your wide receiver 5. So, yeah, nothing to think anything kind of different of it after that. Nate, as you're in here, question for you. Do you like that Jalen Hurts pick? I know the auto kind of did me dirty there, but what are you thinking of my team? I'll tell you honestly what I'm thinking of your team. So you got Joe, so you went running back heavy, like the running back depth. Then Jalen Waddle, Amon-Ra Brown as your wide receiver 2, super solid with Lamar Jackson, high upside quarterback 1. Dallas Goedert, I'll be honest, I don't know how. I probably would have waited on a tight end because my thing is when you can get, you could have gotten like a Brandon Ayuk. You could even drafted. I know you had too many running backs, but like an Antonio Gibson here, and then drafting Zach Ertz on the way back. Like that's probably something I would have done. I'm just not high on Dallas Goedert, but if you are a big Jalen Hurts fan, then all of a sudden Dallas Goedert might be going up in your rankings, and I can't disagree with that because at the end of the day, wide tight end like 6 through 12 is all about the same. You know, Nate's just up here hyping me up in this chat, so I honestly like the Hurts and Pitts pick. So I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you being here, supporting the channel, and just all love. So for all 5 viewers right now, if you guys could all leave a like, that would definitely help out the channel, help out the algorithm, help me out just as a content creator, as like not even like an actual content creator, as like a fake content creator who's trying to make this like, I want to grow this channel, I want to grow this community, I want to just have a lot of like cool people like Nate, like Mason. I mean, I think I'm cool. Maybe I'm okay. Just an average dude, your average run-of-the-mill dude. Like, I just want everyone to like fantasy football and like to grow. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get better each and every day so that when we get in these either high money situations or you're doing your free leagues with your friends, you just absolutely demolish. And, you know, bragging rights. I'll say this. I think I like bragging rights a little bit more than some cash. Like, if we're talking like $200 to $300, like, cool, I'll take the cash. But like anything less than that, I'm probably just taking the bragging right. So after Hopkins, we had George Pickens. The hype is there with George Pickens going in the 8th round. Then we had CEH, Dameon Pierce, Kadarius Toney, Zach Ertz. Absolutely love that pick at the 8-12. Then after that, we had Christian Kirk at the 9-1, Miles Sanders at the 9-2. Connor is going over here with did you go? No. You went hero RB, so you're absolutely demolishing the running backs from here with Cordell Patterson, Chase Claypool at the 9-4, Mike Gesicki at the 9-5, Devin Singletary at the 9-6, and then Garrett Wilson at the 9-7. I just made a tweet about Garrett Wilson. I think he's got a lot of potential this year, even with Joe Flacco, and so we'll kind of see from there. Tyler Boyd at the 9-8, absolutely hammering close, absolutely hammering wide receivers. This man is definitely into fantasy. I know he produces fantasy football content. He is here for a reason, and he is showing out. He is balling out in this little league. He should be the one. He should honestly be in here with me talking fantasy football because this guy might know more than me. I'm just kidding. He's just having an absolute monster draft. Hey, thanks so much for the other like. Appreciate that. If the other 3 people that are watching could leave me a like, prayers up to you. Would definitely appreciate that as we continue in this mock draft. I know I'm blocking out the rest. So we had Sky. Oh, I'm on the clock 13 seconds, and I wasn't even thinking. I'm just chatting it away. I need a wide receiver for sure. MVS, Christian, I'm going Rondell Moore. I know it's a little bit of a reach, but my opinions with Rondell Moore are high. I think with DeAndre Hopkins being out, and I just think they're going to find a way. He's going to have the Christian Kirk role. He's absolutely going to demolish it this year, and we saw from weeks 1 to week 2 when he broke out. He had like a solid first 4 or 5 weeks and then kind of disappeared. So I think he'll regain it as a sophomore. I think the upside is there. I don't necessarily think that he's going to have like this amazing year. I'm not drafting him as that though. Like he's like my wide receiver 4 right now on my team. So I feel pretty good about that. I'm probably right now going to be taking another wide receiver. None of the running backs scream my name. I already have 3 solid running backs, so I'll probably be going wide receiver again here, and this is where you're just starting to take these shots. So Jalen Hurts is my quarterback, no one I like. I could go Christian Watson. I'm not super high on him. There's some other ones I'll wait on, but I think I'm going MVS. I think the upside is there for MVS this year. I don't necessarily think he's going to be anything amazing, but if he's literally better than Mecole Hardman and I just got him in the 10th round, like that's a good dart throw that we could be having as we kind of go. I just got a new subscriber, so I think that was, I don't know who just subscribed. Oh, Aiden, thanks so much, my man, for the subscription and for popping in to hear the chat. Aiden's question is, what are your thoughts on my draft? Rambo 200. Oh, I just talked about you like early on in the draft, dude. The fact that you got your 2 running backs, I'll be honest with you, I would have gone Aaron Jones over Nick Chubb. I think you probably want Nick Chubb just for like the safety of like having the back end RB1. I just think he's never going to win you a week, but as your RB2, like maybe you wanted that solid production. Michael Pittman as your wide receiver 1. Of course, he's going to be getting all the targets, so I like that pick. You then get your tight end 4, George Kittle in the 4-9. I absolutely love, if you have one of those early picks, waiting on tight end, not drafting Kyle Pitts at the 3-4, but then waiting into the 4-9 to get George Kittle, or even Darren Waller. And then to get Deontay Johnson as your wide receiver 2. All of his targets are going to remain the same, and so remain the same in the fact that he's going to be getting high quality of targets. No, maybe not high quality, but he's going to be getting about the same amount of targets. I mean, it can't get really worse than Big Ben. Kyler Murray as your quarterback, 6'9", like that. Amari Cooper, CEH, Chase Claypool. Dude, you're chasing upside in these last few picks, and I do like that. CEH, like, with the running backs left, that's the shot I would be taking, even though I did say earlier with Isaiah Pacheco and Jerick McKinnon in that backfield, you do have to worry a little bit about how Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to, or not Jerick McKinnon, but also with Ronald Jones, how he's going to fare with all those guys. Maybe this is the year. Maybe he breaks out this year. I kind of doubt it, because if he would have broken out, he would have broken out like last year when he got all the carries first few games. But I just think he's an average running back, and we'll see what happens from here. But that's kind of my thoughts on your team, dude. I would honestly, based on like those first few picks, man, I'm giving you like a B+, A-. Which, like, to be honest, I don't give, like, A+. Like, I don't think anyone can, like, just have, like, a perfect draft because we don't know what's happening. But I do like the weight on wide receiver, get them in the 3 and 5. Because, like, to be honest, like I could see a few teams where you're, like, I would honestly argue, like, for, like, CS Jesus, like, you might have better receivers. And you, like, at least for top 2, debatably, like, Michael Pittman or Deontay Johnson or Mike Evans and Hollywood Brown. Like, who are you taking? I'm probably taking Michael Pittman and Deontay Johnson, so... It's just finding those ADP values. So after MVS, we then had Rashad White, Dawson Knox, Michael Gallup, Russell Wilson, Devontae Parker, Russell Gage, Tom Brady, Alberto, Jacoby Myers, and Jarvis Landry. I was really hoping Jacoby Myers was going to fall to me. Then we had Dak Prescott go off at the 11-2. Connor, you are absolutely demolishing this draft, my man. James Robinson, just hammer running back. Go all in on the wide receivers, and then just hammer your running back. I do like your team a lot. Rambo, Aiden, you are up, my man. We will see what you do, and since you're in here, we'll evaluate your pick. So, I do like James Robinson this year. I think for anyone that's been like keeping up with reports, like he has been running with the ones a few times, and of course, like everyone's talking about Travis Etienne. I think we're all hype as a community because we love the upside. We love the receiving upside that he might have, like the Alvin Kamara. But the fact of the matter is you're drafting Travis Etienne at the 3-11, and you're getting James Robinson at the 11-3. So almost 8 rounds difference. And you might be getting a guy that's getting 50 to 45% of the workload. So that's kind of what I've been doing. Hey, Aiden, there is a delay on our thing, so I do appreciate you being here, my man. Appreciate the subscription to the subscribing to the channel. Yeah, feel free to follow me on Twitter too, because we will be doing a lot more of these mock drafts. I'm going to be trying to do like one a night. So if you want to get in more of these, like follow me there. I'll add me on Sleeper too, and we'll just continue mock drafting and grinding as we kind of get to the season. Chloe Rodgers is absolutely killing it. Just want Isaiah Spiller as well. I really do like his team. I don't know if you're in here, but. So I'm back on the clock. So we had Isaiah Pacheco just got off the board and Isaiah Spiller. I think this is kind of where you just have to evaluate. Like, we just keep hammering wide receivers. Some of the running backs are interesting, but I think I can get one that I like on the back end. I'm going to go Jahan Dotson here. I don't necessarily like love Jahan Dotson for maybe this year, but I think the upside is there to see some weeks where he performs, and especially if something happens to like Terry McLaurin or Curtis Samuel, like I think the volume's going to go up. So, and from everything in camp, everything, they're saying that he has sure hands. So Aiden says 2 quarterback mock draft. Do you want to do that? You want to do a 2 quarterback mock tomorrow? We can definitely do a Superflex mock draft if that is something that you are interested in. I know I've been doing a lot of I'm in a lot of like Superflex dynasty leagues. I'm not in a ton of, actually I'm about to have a Superflex redraft league that I'm in for some decent money. So we could definitely do that. I just know that a lot of people that I'm back on the board, and I'm just chatting it away. I was going to go Kenneth Gainwell with my next pick. But what I was saying is with the Superflex mock, like a lot of people just do one quarterback, so that's what I'm kind of trying to let's do these mock drafts because that's what most people are doing in their average home leagues, but we can definitely do a 2-quarterback mock draft. Like I said, now you're subscribed to the channel. Follow me on Twitter. Send me a message on Sleeper, or I'll message you after this, and then we will figure it out. Man. Tuesday night, we are just grinding as we kind of continue on into the week. Almost there, hump day tomorrow, and then Friday Junior, and then Friday. Ooh, Aiden, for sure, bro. I will. Let's get it going. I'll set it up. I'll usually set it up like around like 5 EST, and then like I'll send it out to everybody, and then typically what then happens is like I said, since I'm still like growing my channel and stuff, like we don't have enough people that want to do it like every day. So I then just throw it into the sleeper chat, and that's probably how you found it here tonight. So congrats on joining. Congrats on finding the best mock drafters. A lot of these guys that are drafting are either in leagues with me, are friends, or we're just like randoms. And I'll be honest, like I'm just learning a lot from you guys. So seeing what you do, evaluating what's happening, and you kind of just gotta go from there. The background on me, my name is Caleb. I am from Indiana. I have, I don't know. I've been playing fantasy football since 2007. LaDainian Tomlinson was the 101 when my first year playing. Brett Favre had just joined the New York Jets. Those are things that I remember. And we didn't do it on app. We did it by paper. So, like, I had to email in my starting lineup, and then the commissioner would tally up the points. So it's coming a far way. So I started playing my first Dynasty League back in 2016. Connor, he's in the draft. He's Kanye East 4. He's in one of my Dynasty Leagues, and I think that startup draft I had like the worst draft ever. I actually won it my first year, but it's because I traded for Patrick Mahomes in a 1-quarterback Dynasty League. But that's not why you're here. You are here to see the mock draft. So after Kenneth Gainwell, we had Jalen Tolbert, Julio Jones, Michael Carter off the board, Romeo Doubs. I do think it's interesting that George Pickens went so much higher than Romeo Doubs, even though we're having like the same camp hype. Aaron Rodgers, KJ Osborne, Jameson Williams, TDP, and then Ronald Jones, and then Wan'Dale Robinson just went off the board. We're kind of getting to those meat and potatoes. Like, you can't win your league here, but you could lose it. Well, actually, you could win it, depending if you get like an awesome late round dart. So I need to go tight end for sure. And then maybe a running back. Yeah, probably another running back, depending on who falls. I'm not, and also I think like it depends too, like how you do your strategies, kind of coming into these fantasy football drafts. I tend, like I said, to like to draft the robust RB, get the 2 solid RBs. I honestly think the teams that have the three RBs, like Chloe Rodgers did in this draft, and then Nate, how you did, like I think you are going to fare very well this season. Now, granted, you might miss out on a high upside wide receivers in rounds 2 or 3 that might end up winning the league. But then if from rounds 4 to rounds 7 or 8, you just hammer wide receivers, grab a tight end or late round quarterback, depending on like which one you do. Like if you do this strategy, like you have to hammer wide receivers. You cannot like do like a quarterback and a tight end and then just think you're going to get like great wide receivers from rounds 6 to 8. Like you're going to have to kind of play with that. If I do that build, I definitely like the late round tight end. Because at the point you get past, like, Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz, like, it's just no man's territory, so might as well just wait it out. Like, getting Cole Kmet, like John Parker got Cole Kmet in the 13th round, like, I think that's great value to be able to get him, like, as your starting tight end. I know he did take Gesicki, but, like, if you he didn't take Gesicki, like, that's some of the moves that I'm looking to make. So after Cole Kmet, we had Mikael Hardman, Alec Pierce, Nico Collins, and then Zamir White. I'm back on the board. We were going to go running back again. And I'm not loving the upside anymore, but we're just going to roll with Marlon Mack. Hope he can overtake, if you're drafting him this late, you're just hoping that the Pierce hype is false and that the veteran presence will win out, which typically never happens, but we can dream, can't we? And then I will probably, like I said, if we're playing one QB, I'll play the waivers for quarterback. So typically then I'll just draft a tight end and hope that they emerge. So if you are still here in the chat, after we're done with this mock draft, I will do a quick evaluation of your team And then we're probably going to call it a night tonight. But like I said, we will be back again tomorrow doing another mock draft, diving in as we continue to see the values play out on a day-by-day, week-by-week basis, because we are just trying to grind content out for the fantasy football season. Like I've kind of stopped on the producing full-time video content because it does take quite a bit of time. And that's on me. That's just me being lazy, me having a full-time job, not wanting to spend my evenings editing videos that take, this is my thing. I can do this live and I get to talk to you guys, which is like awesome because we can have like kind of conversation. And then too, like you guys get to see my channel. We get to do it. I don't have to like edit anything and we're getting like value. Like I feel like we can have these conversations. We can kind of learn and grow together. So yeah. And then plus like when I post it on my YouTube channel, like it still gets like 30 or 40 views. And that's kind of what I've been getting on my other videos that I spend like 2 or 4, like between 2 to 5 hours on. And so, like, it's just a better value. So here I am on the clock. My boy Noah Fant is there. I'm drafting Noah Fant everywhere as my tight end 2, even potentially my tight end 1 if I just wait. Nothing's changed about his situation. Absolutely nothing's changed. He still has Drew Lock as his quarterback. He's still competing with 2 solid wideouts. He was going as tight end 8 last year, and all of a sudden this year he's dropped to, like, tight end 18, 19, 20. It's ridiculous to me. Deshaun Watson goes at the 14-4. David Njoku at the 14-5. I think Njoku, if he does get Deshaun Watson if Deshaun only gets suspended 6 games, like Njoku will be a good value. Lesean McCoy there at the 14-6. Nate, I do think maybe you know something I don't. I hope that's the case. Raheem Mostert at the 14-7. Maximus says we don't do backup quarterbacks or tight ends in here in the chat. No, that's funny. We had Trevor Lawrence go off at the 14-8. Then we're kind of getting there. Hey, thanks so much to the 6 viewers currently watching. Definitely appreciate it. We are at 4 likes. If you could leave, if whoever has not left a like yet, could just drop a like. I know we're about to be done, but definitely helps with the algorithm. Helps with us getting to new viewers as they kind of see our content heading into this redraft season. I know I'm the secret weapon in your back pocket to help you win the leagues, but you know what? We are trying to reach. I'm at like 33, 34 subscribers. I'm hoping to try to get to like 50 by the beginning of the season. So then we had Trevor Lawrence, Chuba Hubbard, Matt Stafford, Sammy Watkins, and then Darrell Williams. Good goes off the board. Good draft, everyone. If you are still here in the live and you were part of this draft, drop your team name. We're going to do a full-on draft. We'll do like a full-on, we'll evaluate. We'll give it a, team name. We'll give it like a grade. We're going to give it A, B, C, with the plus, with the minus. Nate just went LaShawn, had to rep his boy. Yeah, can you rate my team going 3 RB? Yeah, so we're going to, let me get rid of this. We're going to go Nate's team. He went Joe Mixon, Leonard Fournette, James Conner. Then he went Jalen Waddle, Lamar Jackson, Monte Brown as the wide receiver 2, Dallas Goedert. We already talked. I don't necessarily love that pick, but we'll let it go. We'll let it slide. You're Nate. I'm Caleb. We draft different. Tyler Lockett at the 8-6. Like that pick. Garrett Wilson at the 9-7. Really like that pick. Michael Gallup at the 10-6. If he plays, that's solid. And then you go Darrell Henderson, Michael Carter, Alec Pierce, and then we'll throw Lesean McCoy in there for just, the team morale. You know what, dude? I'm giving this an A-. We're giving this an A-. I think the upside is definitely there with Joe Mixon, Lenny, James Conner. If we do know the injury concerns that come with both of these guys, but if you have one in your flex and then one gets hurt and you can slide in like a Garrett Wilson, Tyler Lockett, and you have the wide receiver depth to do it, solid, A-. And then we had John Parker. John Parker, he is an original OG. We go back to the college days, we're in a dynasty league together. This man loves to trade, loves to be active. So appreciate you, John, for stopping in, man. It means a lot. So we got Najee Harris at the 1-5, Javonte Williams at the 2-8, DJ Moore at the 3-5, DK Metcalf at the 4.8, Gabe Davis at the 5.5, Devontae 6 at the 6.8. So we had the robust RB, you got the 2 RBs, then you really hit up the wide receivers. The thing I will say, DJ Moore wouldn't have made it back to you at the 4.8, so I don't hate reaching on DJ Moore. Yeah, I don't know who I would have taken. T. Higgins and TJ Moore are really close to me. So I would have probably would have leaned T. Higgins, but seeing DJ Moore, he gets 160 targets a year. I don't blame you on that one. DK Metcalf, we're just betting on the talent. I know we got rid of Russell Wilson, but you're just betting on the target. Gabe Davis, 5.5. I don't think he's going to put up a 4-touchdown game every week, but we did see the potential that he does have with Josh Allen. And, of course, we don't know who the slot receiver is going to be, so I think he's going to get more targets this year and hopefully more down the field. Devontae Smith at the 6.8. I think people are overreacting to the A.J. Brown coming into town. I do think A.J. Brown is talented, but I think there was a lot of games, if you watched, Devontae Smith was being double-teamed. So he's going to be a lot more on one-on-one coverage and just hoping that Jalen Hurts has improved enough to be able to get him the ball. Rashad Penny as your RB3. We just saw the report today that Ken Walker has a hernia, and so that's not a suit. I mean, he can fix it, but it's if that lingers, you can see Rashad Penny getting a lot more carries at the beginning of the season, so I like that pick. George Pickens, I know that's your boy. You think he's got the superstar potential, so if he plays how he played in the first preseason game through a whole game, he's going to be averaging 100 yards, not 6 touchdowns, but a touchdown a game. Gesicki, I think you probably could have waited. I think I said that with Cole Kmet. Devontae Parker, is he going to be the wide receiver 1 in New England? Is that even worth anything? Hines, I do like that value of the late round pick. Then you got Aaron Rodgers as your QB1 and then Trevor Lawrence as your QB2. Dude, I'm going to give you a solid just B. And I'm not doing that out of I'm just being honest. I think you just made really good picks. So if everything goes right to you, I could definitely see you being a B+, A-, and that could win your fantasy football league if everything fell right for you. But I do like that stack, the Najee, Javonte Williams, same rookie class type stack. So John, thanks so much for stopping by, man. I do appreciate it. Yeah, don't take back that now that I gave you some advice you might not be liking. And then Mason, you are up next, my man. Coming in, you did kind of the same strategy. I think I really liked your team throughout this draft. So you go Justin Jefferson, Deebo Samuel, 2 wide receivers that have the high upside to be the wide receiver 1, especially with Deebo getting carries. Zeke as your running back 1. Now, while I don't absolutely love it, I will say since you did the same exact strategy I did, getting Zeke as your RB1, knowing the fact that the man has been the running back 1, not been the running back 1, but been a running back 1 the last few seasons, even though he's been nicked up and people are talking about how he's getting old. We're just going to give that to you. That's a solid RB1 pick. Then you continue to hammer wide receivers with the Terry McLaurin, Michael Thomas. So your receivers are just absolutely loaded. You get TJ Hawkinson, a top 6 tight end. You then get Kareem Hunt as your RB2, even though the man has never finished less than RB12 on a points per game basis. Then you get Hopkins. So Hopkins has time to wait because you have these other guys. So by week 6, you should be good to go. Devin Singletary, I don't remember where James Cook went before you. So getting him around later, what happens if James Cook isn't who we think he is and he's not as good, and Devin Singletary kind of came on last year. So that would be a solid RB3 option. You get Russell Wilson. Hopefully he cooks. Hopefully Russ cooks. And then Tyler Algier. I really do like me some Algier this year if he can. If the Falcons aren't going to be using Cordell Patterson the whole time. You did get your man. You did get Romeo Doubs, the not overhyped, but the Marquez Callaway of this preseason. Will he actually produce during the season? We shall see. Mecole Hardman at 13.6 and then Raheem Mostert at 14.7. Dude, I'm honestly giving you an A. I think I said that earlier in the draft, but I'm dropping the A because dropping the A, but I'm dropping it because I love these wide receivers. And I think that's going to carry, even though you might feel like you don't have the running back depth, those wide receivers will carry you pretty far. So, yeah, thanks so much for stopping in, Mason. Do appreciate it, man. Appreciate the subscribe as well. So that did mean a lot. Aiden, my new subscriber, what do you think about the Johnson Claypool picks? You mean Deontay Johnson, Aiden? I think that's what you mean. Let me go back. So we had Deontay Johnson. Oh, okay. Yeah. So Deontay Johnson at the 5.4, I think is great. I think Deontay, even though we know the hype that's coming with George Pickens, Deontay Johnson, he's still going to get somewhere between 130 to 140 targets. And I think those will be, better targets. And something that I know Big Ben said hike and then just threw it to Deontay Johnson on a quick little out slant or whatever. I just think he's going to be a little bit deeper, so his ADOT's going to be a little farther. There's a lot to like about Deontay Johnson. Now, I think Claypool, I think it's just dirty what Pittsburgh made him do, announcing the pick at the NFL draft saying, hey, we're drafting George Pickens, and it looks like George Pickens is going to be the Claypool replacement. I really like Claypool. I think he's really talented, and I have a feeling that when we actually look back on the season, Claypool in the 9th round is going to be kind of a steal, because what if Pickens isn't who we think he is? Pickens is just a rookie. I know we've been blessed with a lot of these rookie wide receivers just absolutely producing as, rookies like Jamar Chase, even Devontae Smith last year. Rashad Bateman started to come on later in the season, and then the year before that, you had Justin Jefferson. I think sometimes we need to pump the brakes on how fast we're pushing these guys. The fact that you got Claypool at 9-4, and where did George Pickens go? I think George Pickens went in the 7th. Am I wrong? No, because John drafted George Pickens. Yeah, at 8. When you get Chase Claypool around later, I think the value is just there. So that's kind of my thoughts. Don't know what you think if you like that analysis, but yeah, just take the late round Pittsburgh wide receiver, and that's typically going to be Claypool. Now that I thought it was Pickens for a long time, you could be getting Pickens in the 10th or 11th round. I was like, oh yeah, let's throw the dart on this. But now that Pickens has now risen into typically he goes in the 8th, but I know John's a big Steeler guy, so respect to him taking, if you got your feeling about a guy, you got to take him. Yeah, Mason, thanks so much for stopping by, man. Appreciate you being here. So if anyone else has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. We'll stay here for another minute or so, and then we are going to be calling it a night. And we are going to do another mock draft tomorrow night. So let me know. Do you guys want to start a Discord server? Put it in Discord. We could start, if you guys just all followed me on Twitter, I could just keep posting them on Twitter. That's kind of what I'm doing. So, Aiden giving me the roll of approval. That's what I'm going for here, man. We're going to win you some chips. That's the thing. We're going to win you some chips. If you are playing playing for money, we're going to win you some money. That's the goal. Because the thing is, your boys who you play with, they are not doing mock drafts at 8:47 Eastern Standard Time on a Tuesday night. That's what makes you great, and that's why I appreciate you being here. Oh, man, Aiden, I appreciate that. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you finding the channel. Appreciate you clicking on my sleeper link, because now you have become a part of the fam. So that's what we're here to do. So thank you to all my 5 viewers tonight. We got up to 7 at one point. So yeah, thanks everyone so much for being here. Wait, final question. Nate is just sliding into the channel. Not sliding into the channel. He's been here the whole time, but sliding in with the question last minute. Should I have went Cup or Cook over Mixon? Let's go back to your team. I'll say this. It just depends on what you did. I think now looking back, if you could have said, hey, we have Cup, Fleming, and James Conner, I think I would have said, yeah, I would have done that. I think it's hard to know sometimes what falls. I do like Joe Mixon over Dalvin Cook, so I agree with you there. If I was taking a running back, I would have taken Joe Mixon. Cooper Kupp, even if he does, he's going to regress. He had the most insane season last offseason, but if, let's say for a fact, that the man produces 20%, 25% less fantasy points than he produced last season, he's still going to be the wide receiver 1. So it's going to take a massive leap for Justin Jefferson to overtake him, and it's going to take Cooper Kupp something massive to happen to him for all of a sudden for him not to be worth being the wide receiver 1. So I do think if you can get him at the 1.7 or 1.8, if you are confident enough in your skills to play the waiver wire, or in this circumstances you're drafting with guys that don't go really robust RB early, then you do sometimes luck out with getting solid running backs in the 2nd and the 3rd. And then, of course, if you had that, you would have Cooper Kupp and then Jalen Waddle as your wide receiver 2. I might feel better about that. But like I said, if you feel better about, let me get my running back so that I know I have that depth going into the season, because it is a long season. Running backs get injured all the time. I think I'm fine with it either way. Just depends how you like to go, how you like to play. I think in a lot of my family leagues or my friend leagues that, there's not any money on the line, we're just going, I typically draft running back just because I think I'm good enough finding the wide receivers in the 3rd, 4th, 5th rounds that could have maybe slightly the same impact that maybe a Cooper Kupp could have. But it'll be interesting to see. We've never seen a wide receiver like Cooper Kupp at his age produce what he did last offseason. So what can he do this season? We'll have to see. So that's kind of my thought. Aiden coming in. I'm in a 2-quarterback $1,000 league. $1,000? Like $1,000? Like what's the winnings in that? That's kind of crazy. I'm in like a $40 2-quarterback league. So, I mean, of course, with the underdog drafts and everything like that, like we are throwing some cash, but yeah, nothing crazy. The other thing too, I can't. One of the worst parts about living in Indiana is they don't have desktop for underdog, so like I can't stream those drafts. I have to do them on my phone, which is lame. So I'm hoping underdog, if you're watching this next year, please put underdog on desktop in Indiana so that I can hype you guys up, because it's a great drafting platform. But yes, sleeper mocks are great too, just for free. Being able to see what people are thinking as we kind of head into everything like that. So yeah, thanks everyone so much for stopping in, hanging out. Aiden, Nate, to my other 4 viewers, like means a lot for you guys to be here. So we're going to continue grinding. We'll be back tomorrow night. So subscribe, like the channel, and we are going to keep going on here from out. So boys, we peacing out. I'll catch you guys tomorrow night. Peace.